Hi, hi-fi people, Kelvin from London here. I review retro hi-fi almost entirely, sometimes a bit new. These just about qualify. They're made between 1985 and 2002. Bang and Olufsen CX100 aluminium box speakers. I'll tell you straight off here, I don't often say this, but I think these are a genuine bargain today, yeah? You know, and I review loads of things, but I wouldn't normally say that. But for some reason, and I'm not quite sure, or maybe I know why, these don't seem to cost a lot of money, and I think they sound just great. Anyway, I'll talk about it a bit more, and we're going to detail about sound. Okay, so let's have a look at this here. So you have an aluminium box, which is a high resonant frequency. It means it's not boomy, yeah? This is why it's a good thing. I mean, maybe they could make lots of speakers out of aluminium. I think it would make them expensive. It's probably why it doesn't happen, but I mean, it's quite rare, aluminium boxes, but these really work. Anyway, so we've got two bass drivers here. These are both doing the same work, I believe. And there's your tweeter there. I think these are Philips drivers, by the way. Now, what is worth talking about here? So, here's one of the two problems you might come across, and you know, other people can sort this out for you if you like. But one is this foam here suffers from, you know, it's well known that foam will rot in time, yeah. And so if you're buying these speakers and they won't show you this, or you know, then I would probably say you should assume the foam is rotten. It might not be, but I would assume it. Or if you're buying them, they will probably say been refoamed, which is great. Now you're fine, yeah. I mean, I refoamed these myself. It's quite a tricky job if you've never done it before. If you're a practical person and you've never done it before, you'll probably be okay. If you're not sort of doing practical stuff much and you've never done it before, the first one is probably not going to be good. You know, you might be all right by number two, you know, number three. But if you get them, if you can get them and someone has refoamed, that is just great. The other curious thing about these, which might be why the price isn't so high, is, and I mean, I'm guessing here, but you know, this plug here, which is this plug here. Now, as you see, there's no points on there. There's no bits of metal. This is a reverse plug. This is the female, and this is the male. This is called a DIN plug, DIN speaker plug. Usually, the metal is on here, and then you plug it in. But they've done it the other way around because they want this to be able to hook onto a wall. So, you know, so this, if you can see that, goes in there, you know. So, I mean, that might be one of the reasons why these speakers aren't commanding much money. They're actually, I think, sort of commanding less money than they used to. But I find that, well, just strange. And if it's just because of this plug, then to me that's a winner, because you get those plugs. So it's really a female speaker DIN plug. And then on the other end, you probably just want, you know, bare wires, and you can just wire that onto the back of your amp. Let me talk about prices and power. I mean, these are rated at 100 watts, yeah. I've been putting 50 watts into them, a name NAP power amp with a Rotel preamp and a Cambridge CD player, which is probably not spectacular, but I know these speakers very well. I've tried them on loads of things. I've had them for like 10 years. Price-wise, you know, I think you can get, I saw a pair of these, they go between £100 and £200 is probably the easiest way to say it. So that's probably like $125 and 250 US dollars, yeah? I would happily pay £200 for refoamed ones of these, like no problem. I'd be happy to pay £275, no problem, you know, because they're really nice and they have some unique qualities which is courtesy of this box and you know, the design, you know. And of course the other thing is they really look great, you know. They can fit flush on a wall with a special clip, which you can also get on eBay, which is annoyingly expensive, yeah, like £50 for two, for a few little bits of metal. I mean, it does work. You could probably, you know, they just hang on to through this hole here. If you were a bit of an engineering person, you wouldn't have trouble sorting that out, and you wouldn't have to pay £50. You'd probably adjust a screw and sort of angle grind a few bits off the head and it would slot on. But you know, be careful, don't want them dropping off, yeah. But yeah, they look really good, and you know, you can get, if you got these for £100 or £150, I think it's an absolute bargain, yeah. And I don't often say that, to be honest, you know, that something's a bargain. I often say they sound good, but these, strangely, I don't know why, all other prices are going up. They're all going up. These come also in like black and white, yeah, but not shiny black, more like matte black. But these aluminium ones just look super duper. Okay, let's leave that there, and I'm going to do the sound. So I'll do the sound quickly, a sort of broad overview, and then I'll do what I usually do, which is go through some songs and tell you in detail how these speakers performed. And by the end of that, you'll know, you should be able to work out what these speakers sound like. And I'll also give a small reference to comparison I did with these and a Rogers LS35A, which is a little speaker I'll show you in a sec, which really is a bit of a no contest, but because they are much more expensive things, like £1,000 second hand, but they didn't do badly. Anyway, let me do this. Okay, so Bang and Olufsen CX100, big overview of the sound. I said clean sounding. They're really clean. It's that aluminium box, yeah. It's not booming. The bass is kind of, it's there. It's not huge. I mean, these are only little speakers. You know, you don't get huge bass out of little speakers, yeah. You want a huge bass that you can feel. You've got to get some big speakers, but the bass here is bigger. The sound stage and everything, it's kind of bigger than you would imagine. Certainly than I would imagine. It's very smooth sound, yeah. It's a very easy listening sound. You know, you listen to this sound all day, and they really are good at voices. That vocal mid-band, certain vocal, you know, that literally that section of the sound spectrum, they do really great, you know, even compared to the Rogers LS35A, which are like, you know, they're like meant to be the best adapted for vocal frequencies, you know, you know, made as a monitor, which they were. So really nice, nuanced good stuff with the vocals on these. So okay, that's the general thing, and now I'm going to go through a bunch of songs and do it for you in detail. Do you know what I mean? So okay, first song I did was Take It Easy by the Eagles, if you know that one. So I got here good vocals, yeah, vocals are nice. In fact, I got the vocals are really great, yeah. The bass is pumping, but it's not huge, yeah, but it's there enough and it feels balanced. Do you know what I mean? It these feel balanced. They don't feel like there's something wrong, or you know, something is, certain frequencies are too much. A lot of speakers you get that effect, but here these are kind of, they're sort of restrained. They're not restrained, they're sort of polite, pretty accurate. They're not bright, yeah, they're not bright, but they got space. They really do have space, and that is actually something I put here. And this is really unique, sort of unique for speakers of this price, and I think it's this aluminium box, is that these speakers have the ability to make it like some of the sounds are really not coming from this box, you know, they might be coming from behind or in front, but they have that effect of getting away from the box, which is really nice, you know, it's really nice. And you know, it's great if you can get that for £200, you know, that's you don't normally get that for that sort of money. And I put it's highly enjoyable, really enjoyed that song. Okay, next song I did was Too High, Stevie Wonder. It's good, it's nice, it's balanced, it's unoffensive, and it has not bad scale for the size. I mean, you get quite a lot. What you get is a bit extra in the mid-band activity, yeah? Anything that's in the mid-band you're really going to get, and it won't sort of stick out and be offensive, but it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of orientated towards the mid-band. I mean, you know, so the small speakers in a small box. It's kind of, you know, you could probably make this a mid-range driver and have a 12-inch woofer, and that would probably sound good. Probably sound good with a subwoofer too. Okay, next song I did was, okay, Black Man, Stevie Wonder, yeah? This is on Songs in the Key of Life. This is a highly demanding song for a little speaker. It's got loads of pulsating low bass activity. I mean, loads of it. If you've got big speakers, you know, a powerful amp, play that song, Black Man, Songs in the Key of Life, Stevie Wonder, and just have a listen to the beginning particularly. There's so much mad stuff going on. It's so funky. It's really like put your spine out of joints. Like, you know, he's just a really proper genius, Stevie Wonder. So okay, Black Man, highly demanding song. It's not really happening. You know, like if on my Spender BC ones, which are this big, any big speaker, you'll have great fun in that lower bass. On here, it's just not really happening. But it is very nice, detailed, good voice. Voices is really good. You can really tune into that voice, and it's actually, you know, highly enjoyable. I put here very good. Nuanced voices, very good. Better than loads of other speakers vocally. What else do we have? We have next song. This is the last song. Alison Krauss, Now That I've Found You. Now on that song, there's a little wooden, like two wooden blocks that go off. And I use those I listen for those to see how much they sound like they're made of wood, you know, or if it sounds like it's dull or plasticky or something like that. So those blocks sound good, yeah? They sound right and like wood. The bass, this is a Spartan song with a female vocal and, you know, pretty Spartan arrangement. The bass is a bit absent because the bass is kind of the big part of that song. And so without real sort of weight and feel, you know, an impact on the bass, you're really kind of listening to the voice. You're kind of losing the bass. And I put here, the bass is a bit absent. I mean, it's not gone. These probably do more bass than you would imagine for the size, but, you know, compared to, you know, a bigger box, that bass is not really, I'm not feeling it, literally, you know. And actually here, and this is interesting, I put, I've heard her voice better. Now I've been saying these are great for voices, etc, etc. That is pretty damn true. The only thing is, her voice is really high. So the male voices sounded great. Her voice being so high, with just a teeny bit off. And I am saying, you know, I'm a very particular person. I'm very fussy about what I'm saying here. I'm just saying a teeny bit off, you know, just a teeny bit. Just that I have heard it better on some on some other speakers. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just quickly tell you this, you know, because let me just show you these. just out of a curiosity, you know. So I played all these songs and then I played them all on these. As I said, these are £1,000 second-hand LS358. They're like, they make them new for £2,000 or £2,500. So it's really in a different class, but the detail, the mid-range on here is unbeatable. The sound staging on these is unbeatable. But I really enjoyed these, and they weren't made, I wasn't aware of that detail not being there, you know, until I put these on, and I thought, oh, but there's a real enjoyment that comes out of these, and these have this a little bit more of this sort of out of the box sensation. That, I mean, these have that too because they're really good. But I don't know, all I want to say is I thoroughly enjoyed listening to these speakers, and you know, for this to be brand, you know, for this to be what, 5 times more expensive than this, it's not 5 times better. You know what I mean? These are bloody good. These are really good, really enjoyable. They look great, and as I say, for some reason they seem to be actually going down in price, which is odd. You know, I watch eBay all the time, so I see whether things are going up or down. So, just a quick summary. It's clean sounding. It's bigger than it looks. You can put them on the wall. You'll probably be, you know, these are sort of speakers you can listen for hours and hours, and you'll probably hear things in the mid-band that you're not used to hearing, and you'll tune in, you know, to the human voice really nicely, you know, really nice. I don't know what else to say. I really like those speakers. If anything is a bargain in this world in second-hand hi-fi, some things aren't anymore because everyone wants everything that looks old, but they're a bargain, I've got to tell you. So, okay, that's it. Oh, one thing, if you wouldn't mind, tell me, do you like this thing where I do songs? Or do you think I should just like say what it sounds like? Or should I go through those songs in detail? Because I'd like to know that, it'd be great. Okay, thank you. Bye for now.